Hey there, Math 7 students. I wanted to talk to you today about slope. I so wish I were able to teach you this in person, but this video will have to do for now. So slope is usually represented by the variable m, and it represents the value of the ratio of the change in y, or the rise, to the change in x, which is the run, between any 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, on the line, on a particular line. So, to recap, algebraically, m equals rise over run, or another way to say that is the change in y over the change in x, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, it is important that we use a particular point to be our second point, and the other one to be our first point, and we need to be consistent, right? So let's do a couple example problems. Describe the slope of each line and then find each slope. If the slope rises from left to right, like it does here, then the slope is positive. So in describing this slope, we would say the line rises from left to right, and so the slope is positive. But then we need to find the slope. So we want to do the change in y over the change in x, or y2 minus y1, and we're going to call this point here 2, my x2 and my y2, and that's convenient because they both have 2's in them. And so notice here we've got a 2 and a 2, and this 2 is the y, this 2 is the x value. And then this point would be our x1, y1, right? And so we do 2 minus negative 2 over 2 minus negative 1. And we do those subtractions. The minus and negative means the same as addition, right? Plus. Oh, so 2 plus 2 is 4, and 2 plus 1 is 3. And so our slope here is 4/3. 4/3, and you can see it goes over 3 and up 4. So the rise is 4, the run is 3. Okay, let's look at part B. If we are describing the slope, this line goes downhill, or it falls from left to right. And so because the line falls from left to right, the slope is negative. The slope is negative. And again, we need to calculate the slope. So we do y2 minus y1. Here I'm using this point as x2, y2. And so those values go here and here respectively. And then this point here, 3, negative 3, is my x1 and y1. And so the y1 goes there, the x1 goes there. So we do 2 minus negative 3, and that is 5. And negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4, and so we get negative 5/4. Negative 5/4. We can see that our answer here is negative, as well as, which matches the idea that it's going downhill from left to right, so the slope is negative. It matches. Okay, now we've got some interesting ones here. It says find the slope of each line. And we've got a point -2, -3, and 3, -3. And if I want to find the slope, m, right, that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And let's see, we'll use this guy for the 2's, right? So we'll do -3. And 3 on the bottom there, and then minus -3 is the y value there, and then minus a -2. And so -3 minus -3 ends up being 0. And in the denominator we have 5. And 0 divided by 5 is fine. That's just 0. So you may notice that this is a horizontal line. It's a horizontal line and its slope is 0. All horizontal lines have a slope of 0. Here we have another line. We've got 2 points and we want to find the slope here as well. So M is, we'll use this guy up here for y2, x2, y2. So it'll be 3, and we'll put the -2 down there. And then minus, the y value here is a -1, and the x value is -2. So we end up with 3 minus -1, which would be +1, which would be 4, over -2 minus -2 would be like -2 plus 2, which is 0. Uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. We cannot divide by 0. We cannot divide by 0, and so that is a problem, right? This is undefined. All vertical lines have a slope that is undefined. Okay? If the slope is undefined, it is a vertical line. If the line is vertical, it has an undefined slope. Okay, let's do one more problem together. Which of these lines are parallel, and how do you know? The only way you can really find out is by finding the slope of each line. Okay, so we could label these lines A, B, and C, and we could find the slope of A by doing 3 minus 1, that's a y2 minus a y1, over the x value, 3 minus -3. And so that would be 2 over 5, nope, 2 over 6, which simplifies to 1/3, right? What about the slope of line B? Right, we can do 2 minus 0 over 5 minus -1, which is also 2/6 and simplifies to 1/3. Now, we can already see that A and B have the same slope, and because their slope is the same, they are parallel. So I could say that line A is parallel to line B, or A is parallel to B. But let's see about C. The slope of C, we would do -1 minus -3 over 4 minus -4. Let's see, -1 plus 3 would be 2, and 4 plus 4 would be 8, and so that simplifies to 1/4, which is not the same as 1/3, so C is not parallel to A or B. Okay, we will stop there today, but I hope this helps you understanding slope. We'll see you next time.